If you're looking to create a property portfolio that will give you over $100,000 a year worth of passive income, $1 million worth of equity, and a life filled with incredible choices in the future, then this 5-minute video is for you.
Now, let's say we're just sitting down with the boys one day and one of them came up to you saying, I want to start building my property portfolio and I really don't know where to start, but I've got a $600,000 budget. I want to replace my current annual salary of $100,000 within the next 15 years to just do what I want when I want with my time. Like, where would I start?
Now, the first step and the first property would be super simple. We'd simply go out into one of Australia's quality markets and buy a 3 or a 4-bedroom home on a nice big 600 square meter piece of land. And we'd want to follow the fundamentals that worked for our parents and our grandparents in the past. So this would mean quality suburbs, quality properties with great infrastructure, great schools, close to transport, close to the cities or the beaches around Australia. And we'd hope that property would rent for at least $500 to $600 a week.
Yeah, I love that as a starting place, but let's say a few years have gone by. I've seen a little bit of capital growth in that first property that I purchased. I've saved up a little bit more cash and I'm ready to go for that next property. Like, what would you do after that first one?
Now, obviously for a lot of people, they could simply go out there and buy another simple home. But for me, I want to continue to grow. And after doing my first one, I might be ready for something a little bit more exciting with a better income. So for this second property, we go out there and we get a nice big piece of land and we've got a 4-bedroom home with a 2-bedroom granny flat on it that cost us about $750K in total. Now, what's incredible about this at the moment in some of the markets around Australia is for the $750K spend, we can be getting as much as $950 a week in rent. So what we're gonna ultimately end up with is one simple home that's worth $600K that rents for about $550 a week in rent, and a second property that is worth $750K that rents for $950 a week. Now what we're left with there is about $1,350,000 worth of property and about $75,000 per year of total income. Now let's say one of the boys was like, cool, I completely get those first steps, but where could I be 15 years from now? How would you answer that?
Now, assuming that $1.35 million property portfolio goes up by an average of 4.8% compounded growth over the next 15 years, then it should be worth about $2.7 million. And one of the things that we love most about property is when you look at the history of rental growth, it's historically kept up with inflation. So if we assume that $75,000 today goes up by the same rate as inflation, which let's call that 2.5% per annum, compounded over the next 15 years, then that becomes $108,000 worth of gross passive income per year, which replaces your current annual salary.
Now, this simple strategy of buying a couple of high quality properties can completely change your life for the better. Property investing is an incredible vehicle to give you financial security and financial peace in the future and to retire much, much earlier than you can through your job. If you're thinking about buying an investment property in the next 3 to 6 months, then the team and I at Pumped On Property would love to offer you a one-on-one strategy session. To book the session, all you have to do is go to www.pumpedonproperty.com and click that free strategy session button. Now, in the session, we'll talk about exactly where you are right now, where you'd like to be longer term, and educate you deeply on the Australian property market. You can then take that information and go and absolutely smash it on your own, or potentially become one of the small number of clients that we work with each month. Either way, we look forward to continuing to help you build your property portfolio with confidence on your journey to financial freedom.
Try and find the peak in that one.